Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Oh, yes. Good morning. Wednesday, downtown Birmingham, January 19th, 2022. Another day. Another day we get to talk about sports. Huh? What a life.
Oh,
what a life.
What a blessed life.
What a life. Can't complain. Can't complain one bit. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Good. I'm very good. You got a lot to talk about today.
I'm surprised you're good. Last night was pretty rough.
Oh, yeah, it was rough. Watching the Pistons.
Speaking of which, the Detroit Pistons played last night, guys, on the road. I don't know if you paid attention to the actually struggling Warriors, by the way. They had lost, I believe, 3 of their last 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. Granted, Steph Curry did miss the previous game. They sat them out. But here we go. Pistons lose big time. And Cade Cunningham, I'm sorry. I really am. In the words of a philosopher that I know, meaning myself, I am deeply sad for you, Cade Cunningham. Jeff, what the hell happened last night?
Watching that game last night, one of two things. One of many things, actually. The Pistons haven't been a very good team on the road. We know this. Young team, of course. But going to play in Golden State, just a different place, man. I mean, Golden State, they're one of the hardest teams in the league to guard, especially for a young team, because you're going against a team that's constantly moving, constantly setting screens. You got Klay Thompson back now, so you have 2 deadly threats from the outside. And it just puts a lot of pressure. You have Killian Hayes, who, yes, went out with an injury, of course, but he was really the only guy who, on the perimeter, could keep up with Steph Curry. And you saw it last night. I mean, Pistons are 3-19 now on the road. The Warriors are 19-3 at home. One of the best home records in the league. And I think this is a very good test for the Pistons. I mean, back-to-back games, you go against really 2 Western Conference Finals contenders. I mean, you have the Golden State Warriors, you have the Phoenix Suns. We would have liked to see Cade finish the game in the Phoenix Suns, of course, but against the Warriors, I mean, this is just the case of guys. I mean, they shot the ball poorly. I mean, the only guy who really was putting the ball in the basket was Isaiah Stewart, and he didn't take a 3-point attempt, so that would explain the 86 points. The only thing really I took away is, yes, they competed more in the second half. It was much more of a closer game, but those 2 first and second quarters, when the Warriors scored back-to-back 30-point quarters, the game just got out of hand. So
when the Warriors almost outscore you in the first period,
it ain't good.
Or excuse me, the first quarter. Wait, it gets worse, Jeff. When they almost outscore you with their point total in the first quarter versus your point total in the whole first half, that's a problem.
Yeah, in the first half, I believe Klay, Steph, and Andrew Wiggins had more points combined in the first half than the entire Pistons did.
That would not surprise me. In the first quarter, the Pistons scored 26 points.
Yeah.
In the second quarter, they scored 16. 22 and 16, excuse me. So a combined total of 38, Jeff. You know how many the Warriors scored in the first quarter?
30+.
33. They were 5 points off what the Pistons scored in the whole first half. And then, of course, they put up another 33. And then they're up, 24, 25? Unbearable to watch last night.
Yeah, they didn't even really compete.
It wasn't even a close game, and they played good down this. I mean, they sat their players.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
yeah.
Steph, how many minutes did Steph get? 29?
Yeah, Klay
That
at
is
22.
nothing.
Yeah.
That is nothing in the NBA. They pulled him midway into the third quarter, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yeah, it was a tough night, man. Pistons struggling.
And credit to Roddy Magruder real quick, because that guy got traded.
Hold on.
Hold
We're not
on.
doing this. No.
What?
No, I think of him, I get mad. No.
No, and I agree with you.
You know why? I wanted Bull. Medical team discovered a foot injury. I'm willing to look past it, but this little guy was part of the trade.
We shipped him.
He puts out, 19 points yesterday?
He was in Denver, and he came back and dropped 19 at 30-something years old. He's a vet.
I'd rather watch Fish play, honestly, at this point. Pistons are getting hard to watch right now.
Yeah, they are.
Down the stretch, what are they now, 10-33?
Yeah. Road records
We used to make fun of the 76ers. I mean, this is bad. This is really bad.
I don't know if this is more of is this an indictment on Dwayne Casey at this point, or is this just the team is just bad? I mean, I don't really know what to point it to.
When we say the team is, bad, I don't see that. What I see is a rookie guard who can become a star, I see a second-year player. I see 2 second-year players, actually. 3, excuse me.
It's a young
3
team.
second-year players
Very young
that
team.
start and play consistent amount of minutes. But what the... You know what? Bleep, Dwayne Casey is going on with Killian Hayes. 9 minutes in a blowout? Really?
Yeah, he got injured.
Only 9 minutes?
The injury's a little scary.
Injured. He's always injured.
It was hip. It was his hip as well.
Come on.
It's a reoccurring, so that's a little worrying.
Dude, man, I'm trying really hard to stay on the Killian Hayes, develop into a solid foundation player. It doesn't need to be an all-star, but damn it, close to it. Josh Jackson gives me 2 points in 17 minutes, and it was off of an amazing assist from Cade. He did nothing. Saban Lee, 9 rebounds. Why is he leading the team almost in rebounds? Diallo was nice to watch, but inconsistent as always. So he'll have a good game yesterday night. Tomorrow he'll do nothing. This team is so young and so inconsistent. I don't even know what to make of Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys talk about this all the time. Adam, you can't evaluate Dan Campbell. Fair. That is a very good point. Tough for me to evaluate a guy with a roster that is 60% of it not going to be there next year. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. How much of this roster is actually going to be there? Part of this Pistons team moving forward? Not much.
Yeah, not much. You got like 4 or 5 guys.
As much as I want to kill Casey this morning, I just want to, I just want to grab him in the most loving way.
Give him a bear
and tell
hug.
him, Dwayne, what the hell? But I can't. You know why? This team is not good at all.
No. And I think they got to trade Jeremy Grant once he gets healthy sooner than later because you need something.
How do we get to this point?
You need something.
How do we get to this point?
I don't know.
How do we get to the point where before the season started, it was asinine. It was a hot take to trade Jeremy Grant. And we're into January now, and everyone is begging for the Detroit Pistons to trade him. How? How do we get to this point? You know? We have a problem in this country. Nobody admits when they're wrong.
True. Very true.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Now it's okay. Now everybody's on board to trade Jeremy Grant. Really?
I know.
Really?
Think about that.
Isn't that funny?
People gave this show crap for just bringing it up months ago.
I just don't.
I mean,
look, I'll tell you what. Dwayne Casey, as much as I respect what he's accomplished, he is not looking so hot in Detroit.
no.
You can only ride 50-plus win seasons, Coach of the Year, for so long. Tier 2, bud. Next year, I swear to God, Dwayne, if you have 10 wins by November, I may kill you. By the end of November. Like, come on. You got to start winning games. This is a win-lose league.
Yeah.
You win or you lose. There's no in between, Jeff. And what the hell can this team actually do? They're going to pick in the lottery, Jeff. Okay. What? You're going to go get Devin Booker? DeAndre Ayton? You in what army? Now, Ayton makes sense. Could happen. He is a free agent at the end of the year. Okay? Go offer that max deal. Go offer that max deal. That's fine. Then what? Doesn't solve your number 3 position. Doesn't solve your number 1 position. Doesn't solve your bench. Doesn't guarantee that Sadiq will hopefully become even better in year 3. Come on. This team is 3, 4, 5 years away potentially from actually competing for Eastern Conference Finals.
And that's what worries me. Because
what's the free agent move?
Yeah, I know.
What's the free agent move? Is it DeAndre Ayton? I may like it. I may like it.
But I don't think that's a splash.
Devin Booker, okay, now we're cooking up a little bit. But who? What's the free agent move where next year you're a 44, 48 win team? There's not a chance in hell you win 44, 48 games next year, especially with this roster. Listen, you can choke somebody and not kill them. So I don't know what you're talking about, Joey. You've never choked somebody and just like go after? It's like, I just want to do this to you, but I can't.
It's like you do like the
sounds like you have
the motion.
Definitely sounds like me. All right, we got to go to break. When we get back, I have been looking forward to talk about this all week, actually. Now that the wild card round is over with, Cliff Kingsbury is now being called out. The Raiders' job is kind of up in the air. Are they going to go with the interim, or are they going to hire somebody new and do a whole rebuild?
You got old Mike McCarthy.
You got big old Mike McCarthy. Got a lot of coaches. Nick Sirianni, I guess, sure. Coaches that were in paradise 4 or 5 days ago. They could be on the hot seat moving forward. We'll talk about which teams that have been eliminated need a new head coach right after the break. But before we go to break, Jeff, could you tell everybody at home about Guardian Alarm?
Yes, listen, guys, we talk about defense, and you didn't see a whole lot of it in the Pistons game, but Guardian Alarm, they get it. Guardian Alarm has a good defense on and off the field, and it helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm also has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. 8:12 in the morning. Beautiful, beautiful day outside. It's not even that cold, honestly. Or maybe I'm just so accustomed to it being so cold.
Wait till tonight. The temperatures are dropping. So
you know, Fish, I didn't ask you to kill my vibe this morning.
I
really didn't. I didn't ask you to be a Debbie Downer. Did I? Here we are. I was actually enjoying the weather for once in my life here. And now I can't. Thank you.
You still can.
No, it's too late.
Okay.
All right, trouble in paradise for these playoff coaches. Jeff, we'll start with Nick Sirianni, who I think we can both agree is safe, is beyond safe.
He's done a hell of a job.
But what's the situation in the offseason with the Eagles?
With the Eagles, listen, 3 first-round picks. They have a lot of options, and with the team that needs, a lot, especially on the defensive side, they haven't really been able to get to the quarterback all year, and you saw it against the Bucs. It was exposed, because if you can't get to Tom, he's going to punish you. So the Eagles, to me, they're probably going to add a linebacker. I got a buddy who's an Eagles fan. He talked about Nakobe Dean all the time. So they're going to go, heavy in the draft, get some talent. And Nick Sirianni, I guess, ever since, and you talk, we like to make fun of Nick Sirianni, especially earlier in the year when his speeches were coming out. We had the Dan Campbell speeches, you had the Nick Sirianni speeches. When Nick Sirianni made that comparison to the flower, and the Eagles were like a flower growing out of the roots. They started winning games. It was as stupid as it was. It worked. So give Nick Sirianni more time. I mean, he's done a good job this year. Maybe he's not the best at the podium, but in terms of X's and O's, I think they did a tremendous job. So give Jalen Hurts another year, and we'll see what they can do next year. But the jury's out on Nick Sirianni. He's done a hell of a job.
All right. I'm okay with Nick Sirianni. The fact that they even made the playoffs, honestly, is a miracle.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, they didn't beat anybody with a winning record this year, so I can look at that. But also, I have to keep in mind nobody really expected them to even make the playoffs this year.
Right.
Moving on to the division winners in the NFC East. Mike McCarthy, big old snicker. Jeff, I'll tell you what.
Oh.
I will extend an olive branch this morning.
Oh, how nice of you.
I am willing to offer my fellow American, Mike McCarthy, an opportunity to keep his job if he does us all one singular favor. Lose to the Lions next year. Outside of that, fire the guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You don't make that kind of mistake in a game where you were favored. I don't want to hear it was a trap game. It's a home playoff game. You need to win those games. You need to win the home playoff games. Jeff, oh my goodness, is memory serving? Who's the only team to lose a home playoff game this year?
Oh, that's going to have to be the whole team over.
Is it some team in Dallas?
It might have to be.
It could be America's team.
America's
I
team.
forget what they're called sometimes, Jeff. Excuse me, memory.
America's team. You should know this.
Oh, my goodness. I'm getting rid of Mike McCarthy, Jeff.
Yeah.
And now, look, I don't like saying all the time, get rid of the coach, get rid of the coach, get rid of the coach. That's not always the solution. But Stephen Jones done a hell of a job putting a good roster together. Is Mike McCarthy the guy that can overcome Dak Prescott? That's what I have to look at now. Mm-hmm. Dak is no $40 million quarterback. I need a head coach that can overcome my team's mistakes, my team's inabilities. Mike McCarthy is not capable of that. That's pretty damn obvious.
Yeah, it is.
Look at their record versus winning teams this year. Pretty damn obvious. I like Trayvon Diggs. I think he's a playmaker. 11 interceptions, the most since, 1982?
Got to respect it.
Hell of a season. Dude gave up over 1,000 yards. There were flaws. Micah Parsons, 11 sacks, I believe, was his rookie campaign. Defensive Rookie of the Year, well deserved. 84 tackles? 64, I believe, was the number, actually. We continue to overhype and oversell this Dallas Cowboys team, and I'm so tired of it. Jeff, I'm moving off McCarthy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And one thing I like to believe in is where there's smoke, there's fire. And with the Dallas Cowboys, they were the most penalized team all year. And what happened in the playoffs? Okay, double-digit penalties. Okay, are we surprised? They are, and that goes back to the head coach. That goes back to the we call Mike McCarthy the placeholder, because I brought this up yesterday, and I'm still trying to figure it out. What advantage does Mike McCarthy bring your team week to week? Like, when I have Mike McCarthy as my head coach and I'm going against X, the 49ers, for example, what advantage does Mike McCarthy give me over the opposing coach? Oh, and I'm not talking about coordinators.
Wait. You have the
It
weight.
is weight.
Bingo. When the UFC does the side-by-sides?
Yeah, their weigh-ins. Yeah,
when the NFL, you got to do side-by-sides and, years of experience, weight. That's all he's got right now.
No, that's it. And talk about the penalties, talk about not being able to beat good teams. Well, if I don't know what you bring me week to week, and I see two coordinators, I would say one, because Kellen Moore I don't think's ready yet, and Dan Quinn, who could probably do a better job in 1 year, a guy who's been to the Super Bowl as well, then yeah, you got to fire him. Especially when you got your coordinators setting up for interviews all across the league. It's going to take not that long before those guys are gone, and then you're stuck with just Mike McCarthy. So Cowboys got to figure it out.
I will tell you what. Tough decisions to make in Dallas.
A lot of tough ones.
I don't think Dak is the guy. And I'll tell you what.
Might be right.
I like Dak. I really do. I always thought his character has overcome a lot of his he doesn't have the best arm. He's not the most. All right, it's fine. Like, when you're that high character of a dude and, you can put all that together, that's great. But can I overcome Dak at $40 million?
No.
With a loaded roster.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to pay as many guys in the next couple of years. You know what I mean? Like,
what quarterback can I put in Dallas right now in the NFL that could take Dak's position, even with the bad Zeke contract, and outperform? Well, outside of Brady and Rodgers and Mahomes, obviously, realistically, who's out there right now?
I like
Stafford. I think Stafford outperforms Dak Prescott.
I like Herbert, but that's me personally.
Obviously, Herbert, I think, does a better job.
Maybe Joe Burrow?
Burrow for sure.
Burrow.
I'm taking Burrow over Dak.
A couple guys already. Russell Wilson?
I'm not taking Kyler. I'll take Russell Wilson, though.
So we got 4 or 5 right there.
What quarterback can overcome my team's own dysfunctions? And Dak is not capable of doing that. 0-6 this year alone. And you don't even want to know the all-time record when they can't run for 100 yards. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. They can't win football games without a good run game. And I'm not saying you have to be able to run the ball all the time, or that you don't need to run the ball to win football games. No, a running game is extremely valuable. But when it's that black and white, where, you know what? If we don't run the ball effectively today, our quarterback can't bail us out.
For $40 million.
What the hell? So I'm just stacking the box, basically. Yeah, it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Move on to the next team, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are rumored in 2 categories. One, which we'll talk about now, the other later on in the show. The latter is Derek Carr, rumored, potentially, given the selection of the head coach, to move on or asked to part ways from the Raiders. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But what are you doing at head coach right now? Jim Harbaugh has not signed an extension out in Ann Arbor. Is he in line for an NFL job, Dak? Dak. I called you Dak.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We just talk about Dak. But no, well, listen, with the Raiders, and Rich Bisaccia has done a fantastic job. I mean, listen, 7-5 after all that dysfunction, you make the playoffs. But if I'm the Raiders owner, if I'm Mark Davis, he's a guy that's known to want splashes. He hired John Gruden. You hired Mike Mayock as your GM. I don't think he's going to be okay settling with Rich Bisaccia. It's going to have to be a Jim Harbaugh, whoever else that may be, one of those young offensive gurus. That's what he wants. I don't think Rich Bisaccia, as much as credit you can give him for the job he's done this year, I just don't think realistically.
Well, is he being blackballed then? That's BS. I'm just saying, look, I got to listen to this all the time. This guy came in, steered the ship, still couldn't get the job. I don't want him as my football coach. What's the problem with that? Why do I have to hire him? Why?
You don't.
Why? Why do I have to hire him if I believe there's another option out there that is probably better and more qualified?
Companies do it all the time. CEOs.
Why?
Yeah, you don't.
Why do I have to keep this guy? Me personally, I'm not keeping him.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Look, I want to keep him on my coaching staff, but if he thinks he's getting a job somewhere in the NFL this offseason,
like
good luck, buddy. Good luck. Go interview. Have a great time. I appreciate how well the players speak of you. I am trying to get this franchise in a much better direction. Now, if I want to re-sign him for a year or two and bring in a new GM and try to rehaul the roster, a new quarterback, get rid of Derek Carr, okay, maybe. But Bisaccia, what does he offer me?
That's the problem.
A 3-month sample of dealing with chaos, which is impressive.
Yeah.
But what else? Why the hell? I can't this morning. I can't.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I'm not buying into it at all.
Who do you think the would be the obvious choice for the Raiders? I mean, we'd have to agree probably.
The obvious choice for the Raiders is one of two scenarios. You go big and get an outside hire from the NFL, like a Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And you go all in. Or you bring in a young offensive-minded coach, Kevin O'Connell, Kellen Moore maybe, Brian Leftwich.
Yeah.
Somebody to work with Derek Carr that can overcome that defense. And you see what you can get. Nobody thinks the Raiders have a Super Bowl roster.
No.
But they have a guy that can win the division, I think. And that's all you need right now. We'll move on to the last team.
This one's interesting.
A
lot of people disagree. A lot of people say.
Go ahead then. I'll let you take it.
For me, I struggle because Cliff Kingsbury, track record's important with any coach. I mean, look at Cliff Kingsbury all the way back to Texas Tech. What did he do at Texas Tech? He'd start the season off strong and then finish poorly. Okay, got to the NFL. What did he do with his first couple seasons with Arizona? Started the season strong, finished poorly. So it's a trend, a constant trend with Cliff Kingsbury. But my problem is I kind of like him. But he needs to fix the second half collapsing. That's my problem. With you have the connection with Kyler, with Cliff. So far it's been working. You started off undefeated. They have to find a way. I don't know how. Maybe you hire better assistant coaches, whatever. Or maybe you ultimately end up firing Cliff. But in my opinion, you have to find a way to – he's only, a third-year coach. You need to find a way to get your players ready towards the end of the year. You can't keep collapsing. You're going to lose your job. So if they can find a way to fix that problem, I don't know how in the hell they do it, I would keep Cliff Kingsbury. But that's just me personally. I mean, yeah, you could fire him, go get, whoever you want. But at the same time, I think Cliff's done a good job. It's just the collapsing in the second half of the season is inexcusable. You can't do that, especially if you want a job. So it ain't going to happen.
Cliff Kingsbury, to me, is an interesting case, right? This guy's improved every single year he's coached. And I think he's earned the right for next season if you guys are willing to accept that there are glaring red flags with Cliff Kingsbury. And it can go back all the way to his Texas Tech days. From weeks 1 to 7, he has a 63% win rate. Weeks 8 to 16, not the best.
No.
I don't even want to talk about it. It's pretty bad. It's like Lions bad. In the 20s in terms of percentage. It's not good. But Cliff, I am willing, because you have shown year-to-year improvement, I am willing to give you next year on the expectation, on the must agree, you don't win the division next year or compete for it. And if you do another second half collapse after starting the season 10-2, you will be gone. You will be gone.
Yeah, they got to win a playoff
game. And if you
game.
can go 11-6, 12-5, and be consistent throughout the year, and you win a playoff game, you can keep your job. You lose in the playoffs, you're done. I need somebody that can take me to the next level.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the scenario for me and Cliff Kingsbury. That's it. Simple for me. Can you get my team over the hump? I know DeAndre Hopkins missed a majority of the rest of the season. I know he wasn't there for the playoff game. They did not look the same without him. I get it. I get it. But at what cost, man?
Yeah.
At what cost am I willing to keep a head coach that has shown second half can't do anything? Folds under pressure. They were the Pittsburgh Steelers of last season, and I told you when they were 10-2 that it would happen. Right before the Rams game.
I don't mean your confidence at the beginning and went,
They were 10-2, and I told you they will be the
eh.
Pittsburgh Steelers of last season.
Yeah.
And you laughed. And here they are, losing 5 of their last 6. You know who lost 5 of their last 6 last year heading into the playoffs, including the playoff game, actually? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pull the Pittsburgh.
Here we are. Here we are. We got to go to break. When we get back, Matthew Stafford. Jeff, did he prove the haters wrong? Or the doubters, I should say. Well, he could never win a playoff game. He could never win the division. Well, now that that's happened, we have a new conundrum. Oh, well, he isn't Tom Brady. He isn't Aaron Rodgers.
Or no, they say he had multiple chances in Detroit.
Well, he had multiple. Well, he
Detroit
had
didn't
such
waste
a
his
good
career.
roster. He had such a good roster.
Detroit didn't waste his
And
career.
Los Angeles. Detroit never wasted his talents. We'll get to all that after the break. But before we go, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Sign up today, in club or online at planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. Now open in Midtown Detroit at the Detroit Pistons Performance Center. And right now, you can sign up for $0 down, $10 a month. Everybody take advantage of Planet Fitness. We'll see you right after the break.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on Twitter, or you're listening in via the Woodward Sports app, we appreciate you for joining us. Guys, look, all the Matthew Stafford talk and the build-up all season. Well, Adham, he's winning regular season games. Oh, well, Adham, it doesn't matter. Oh, he's having a good year statistically. Adham, it doesn't matter. Come playoff time, he's going to show me if he can do it. All right, well, whatever. They win the division, something you said he could never do.
Yep.
And he wins a playoff game, something you said he could never do. And he's done it in his first year outside of Detroit. And I'm not sure what the hell we're talking about anymore. He did what you said he wouldn't and couldn't do. And now the conversation, which is hilarious to me, because, you know, all the doubters now, my whole argument that's fallen apart, what do I do? Well, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. Look at the roster he has. That's the point.
Yeah.
One, nobody is saying he's Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. He is not in the upper echelon of elite quarterbacks. If he wants to get there, he can get to an NFC title game and win it.
Yep.
How about that? He gets to a Super Bowl, I'm willing to say he's upper echelon elite. He's that good. No problem. Till then, not going to happen. He's a tier 2 quarterback right now. Moving from that. Oh, well, look at his head coach. Look at the roster. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. Mid-season, they traded for OBJ and Von Miller. When did the Lions ever do that? Adham, he has a stacked team. That's the point. When did the Lions ever do that? When have the Lions given him a coach like Sean McVay? A GM that can wheel and deal like Les Snead? Who haven't picked in the first round for 7 years? Go find me that GM and head coach. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Go find me the talent on a roster that they have. Oh, Aaron Donald, that's what you want to use? You could have drafted him, buddy. What? Oh, Jim Caldwell wanted Eric Ebron. I forgot. Oh, what? Well, Adham, he only threw it 17 times for 200 yards. 13 completions, three incompletions which were drops, so he could have had a perfect passer rating. He had the third highest passer rating ever recorded in the playoffs.
Yep.
And here we are, trying to discredit a guy that during his time in Detroit, yes, never had a roster like this. Yes, never had a head coach like this. Mm-hmm. Yes, never had a GM like this. That was always the point.
Yep.
And you same doubters and haters were the ones that sat on desks like this. And you said the Rams will go 6-11 with Matthew Stafford. He's going to choke in LA under the pressure. Yep. He's going to get hurt mid-season. The Lions are going to have 2 top 10 picks. Your words, not mine. Can't you just admit that you were wrong about Matthew Stafford in the context that you said he could never deliver and win the big game? He's now won a division and a playoff game. Who does that say more about, him or the Lions? It says more about the Lions, guys.
Yep.
And I don't want to spend my whole week trashing on the Lions. Believe me, I have a lot of time to do that. It's not even in my interest right now. And I don't want to because I like the GM, and I think the head coach has improved as the season has gone on. So I do want to move on in terms of from Stafford, in terms of the Lions. But you need to accept you were wrong, and for 12 years, you did not build a true team. Adham, 2014. Yes, 2014.
They're naming 1 year.
Darius Slay wasn't even in his prime. Glover Quinn wasn't even in his prime. DeAndre Levy was an absolute stud. Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh, studs. Okay. Raheem Mathis, I believe, at safety, 34 years old.
But, like, despite that, they're making our point.
Wait. No wide receiving core. Just Calvin Johnson. No running game. Reggie Bush and Joyke Bell.
Yeah. Joyke Bell was more productive. No offense to Reggie, but, I mean, that year.
An offensive line.
So, yeah.
Dominic Raiola. Lincoln Tomlinson. That's your offensive line? Stop it. And you have the nerve, the gall, to post a side-by-side roster comparison, trying to compare the 2014 Lions to the 2021 Rams? Really? Really? The problem was always Detroit, and that was always the point. That Stafford and no other Lions quarterback could ever overcome this type of dysfunction. That was always the point. Now Stafford is in a good organization with a very good head coach, with a very good roster, and he's delivered a division and a playoff game. Detroit, if you would have done that at any point during your 12 years with Stafford, you would have had the same success. But you know what you didn't have? You never had the GM, and you never had the head coach. Jim Schwartz? Caldwell? Oh, Patricia? Please. Please, they don't sniff Sean McVay's jockstrap. Please. Please, save me the pity. Is Matthew Stafford a top 3 quarterback in the NFL? No. No one's saying he's Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. No. But Matthew Stafford has the opportunity to change his own narrative. He can win a Super Bowl this year. Or he could flunk out. But at the end of the day, he has as many playoff wins as your franchise. And he did it in 1 year. Oh, Adham, anybody could have won that game at quarterback for the Rams. That's not the point. That's not the point. When have the Lions ever put you in a position where they could run the ball and go up 21-0 and not have to throw the ball all the time? Oh, you're mad because he only threw it 17 times. Excuse me that on the first 2 drives, he led them, 2 of the first 3 drives, he was efficient. OBJ in the end zone, quarterback sneak up 14-0, and then the pick 6. You want them to throw the ball up 21-0? Really?
Yeah.
Do you hear yourselves?
If you're a football guy, you know that. I mean, you should know that.
You hear yourselves. It blows my mind because I am willing to move on, but I can't yet because there are people still out there, people I work with, that say, you're still wrong on Stafford. Wait till the Buccaneers this week. Wait till what? He's already won a division. He's already won a playoff game. More than he's ever done in Detroit. More than Detroit's ever done in the last 30 years. But here I am having to sit here and entertain this type of argument? Really? Really? What are we doing? When have you ever given Matthew Stafford Sean McVay? You haven't. That's number 1. When have you ever given him Les Snead? Never given him. Never. 2 strikes. 3rd strike, you've never given him an offensive line. 4th strike, you've never given him a run game. Matthew Stafford got better, statistically, when Calvin retired. This season wasn't even his highest QBR rating. Career high passer rating, but in terms of QBR,
Yeah.
he had his best year 3-4 years ago with a garbage roster. Stop telling me the guy isn't elite. He's in the tier 2, top of tier 2 in terms of quarterbacks. Yes, he's not Brady's. He's not Mahomes. He's not Rodgers. Of course not. Of course not. Stafford is in year 13. He needs to now deliver in terms of playoff games, divisions. He's already done it year 1. Jeff, how many divisions can he win in 1 year? I'm asking.
He won.
Oh, well, he did it.
Yeah, he did it.
How many playoff games could he win this year? 4.
Yeah.
He's already won 1. He's now on the road to Tampa Bay. If Stafford doesn't win the Super Bowl, he's a bust. It's a bust project. He's a loser. Really? Really?
Welcome
Really?
to having those expectations.
I would die for those expectations, and I told you yesterday I would. And we're going to criticize the Los Angeles Rams for upgrading at quarterback and trying to make a Super Bowl run. But we're already killing Stafford, which is hilarious to me. Oh, well, he won't get there. What a hot take. Excuse me, only 2 teams out of the 32 get to the Super Bowl every year.
Right.
You must be on some wizard stuff right now. You may see into the future. Show me your crystal ball. Only 2 teams get to the title games in each conference, which is a total of 4 teams. So 28 teams don't even make the conference championship. Stafford's not going to get there. The saltiness, I can taste it.
Yeah.
I can taste it. Jeff, did Matthew Stafford prove his doubters wrong? And what is there left for him to do to just close the book on Detroit? I'm not talking about what he needs to do in LA. That is not my concern. What he needs to do in LA, I think we can all agree they need to get to a Super Bowl.
That's the plan.
But that is not the point. The point is what he did in 1 season with Los Angeles is what you couldn't do for 1 year in Detroit. And that was over a 12-year period. Jeff?
And you're absolutely right. I think that's the key of this whole part is what happened in 2021 to 2022 with the Rams. And if you look at, listen, I just want to go back, and you mentioned it earlier, the year where they went 11-5. The Lions, and the entire Matthew Stafford's 12-year tenure with the Lions, they had 2 seasons. One, of course, the Jim Schwartz year, they went 10-6. We talked about that the 3rd year. And then they had Jim Caldwell with 11-5. That was the only 2 times in Matthew Stafford's entire career they won double-digit games. He leaves Detroit, goes to L.A., wins 12 in year 1, and looks damn good. And this is the problem. I mean, the argument shifted, and that's where I have an issue with. At first it was, I'm rooting against Stafford for the playoff game, which I did say I understand from a fan perspective, but personally I'm rooting for Stafford. I mean, this guy deserves a playoff win, and they're more than capable. Now that he's won, the argument shifted to, well, next week against Tom Brady, he probably won't make the Super Bowl. Now he was never the problem in Detroit. I think the argument's gotten out of hand to the point where I don't even know if those people want to argue it. Like, it really doesn't. And the people that are saying, I see it in the chat, if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, he's a bum. I think that's an ignorant take. No offense. But if you look at it, I mean, like Adam just pointed out, the guy doesn't make the Super Bowl. How many other teams didn't make the Super Bowl?
Only 30 other teams
Are
don't make
they
the
all
Super Bowl
bums?
every season.
I mean,
Josh Allen doesn't get to the Super Bowl last year. He loses in the AFC title game. Is he a bum?
Hell no.
Come on. What are we doing
here? And I get that they have Super Bowl or bust expectations, but guess what? Welcome to playing in LA. And this is the Rams. They expect to go to the Super Bowl now. And this is what pissed me off the most. Jared Goff beat the Cardinals, and also that Jared Goff has won multiple playoff games with the Rams. I get all that. It's his first season with the Rams. His first season with the Rams went from 12th, I believe, in passing yards with Jared Goff to 5th. So the statistics are there. They're jumping up. He's a better quarterback. No one, I don't think anybody can disagree they upgraded at quarterback. If you do, you're a complete idiot. So if you were to disagree with that, what are we disagreeing with? They upgraded at quarterback. Stafford now has got the monkey off his back, has won a playoff game. And if he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, who the hell cares? Like Justin said, I thought it was perfectly put. Icing on the cake or gravy on top. I mean, this is all it is, baby. It's gravy on top. I'm not going to sit here and crap on him if he loses to Tom Brady. Are you serious?
I just don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
You guys want to look... you can't look ahead to the future without learning from your past mistakes. And if you don't want to admit that your franchise, for 12 years, failed to ever put a head coach, a GM, and a roster this good around this quarterback, you'll never learn. Look to the future. Since 91, how's it been for you guys? Look into the future. Huh? Since 93 even. Since 1993, how's it been? Huh? That's your last division. 91, your last and only playoff win. Huh? Look to the future. You can't look to the future unless you learn from your past mistakes. Stafford is a franchise quarterback. You can't win with a franchise quarterback. That's on you. The Bengals just won a playoff game with Joe Burrow, franchise quarterback. Zach Taylor, 3-year head coach. You couldn't win it with your Lord and Savior, Jim Caldwell, right? You couldn't win it with Jim. Oh, well, Adham, the Cowboys, they cheated us. Oh, okay, yeah, it was a bad call. I agree. Horrible call. You had the ball. You didn't go for it on 4th and 1. Kick rocks. You don't get excuses when it's not convenient for you. You can't overlook all the truth just because it's inconvenient to your original dumb argument that this guy could never win big games. Really? Really? The hell if I've ever seen a Detroit Lions player ever win a big game. Especially in Detroit. Never happened. 27% win percentage in the last 30 years. When you play a game without Matthew Stafford, and that includes the Barry years where you guys won games. Still, including all of that, you had a 27% win rate. With Matthew Stafford, you had a 44% win rate. It says more about the franchise to me than it does about Stafford, but I get it. You guys are not going to let it go. And when he loses, or if he loses to the Bucs this weekend, you'll all feel vindicated. And I'm just going to sit up here and laugh at you guys. I really am. I'm just going to laugh. Because the point always was, it was a Detroit problem, not a Stafford problem. And Stafford's not a perfect quarterback. I don't know how many times I have to say that.
No one's arguing that.
But the point is, your franchise failed him. Mm-hmm. Much more than he failed you. We got to go to break. When we get back, Dak Prescott apologizes for his post-game comments. Trouble in Dallas, Jeff. I'm telling you. Trouble in Dallas. But before we go, I got to tell you guys about the Folding Warehouse. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends and check out the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's a great place to be. We have so much fun there all the time. They have over 100 beers, a $2 Mystic beer machine, and multiple bars throughout the facility. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come and get your phone on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com. That's foldingwarehouse.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Guess who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Go! Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he tripled.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Oh my goodness, here we are back at it again. Why are we talking about Stafford? Oh my God. Oh, no. Guys.
It's relevant.
It is relevant. And it matters.
Yeah.
And it should matter. And if you don't like it, that's a you thing. Not my problem. Breaking news though. Michigan reaches a $490 million settlement. They agree to pay over 1,000 survivors from the Robert Anderson abuse case. $490 million. Wow.
Ann Arbor money.
Whew. All right. You know what? I do want to continue on Stafford for maybe 2-3 more minutes, and then I want to get into this whole Dallas Cowboy Dak Prescott thing. But Jeff, what's left? What's left at this point where we can all agree to move on without even trying or attempting to criticize a quarterback who is on another team now? You guys are totally right about that. Excuse me. But you guys are so soft. You're so soft. You post your videos trying to act like, oh, well, he only threw 17 passes. Look what Matthew Stafford did. You post your videos. You post your tweets. You talk a big game. And you say that you have the facts. But when it's brought to the table that he's now won a division and won a playoff game, and that it was Detroit that failed him, not vice versa, nothing. You can't say anything.
No, you can't.
But he's not Tom Brady. He's not Peyton Manning. You know what's funny about Peyton Manning, Jeff? You know who started 0-3 in the playoffs? Peyton Manning. Did you know that? Peyton Manning lost his first 3 playoff games. And not only did he lose his first 3 playoff games, he didn't play well at all.
Yeah.
At all. And I'm not talking like, he was okay. No, he was god-awful. And when I tell you what he did in those first 3 games, I don't think you'll believe me. Peyton Manning in his first 3 playoff games had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Matthew Stafford in his first 3 playoff games, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Matthew Stafford had almost 1,000 yards passing. Peyton Manning barely had over 500. He 4x touchdowns. He doubled the yards. Peyton Manning had a 48% completion percentage.
Oh my God! Imagine
Matthew
that.
Stafford had a 64% completion percentage. They both were 0-3 in the playoffs. Now, what changed for Peyton Manning?
Organization.
I'll tell you what. Tony Dungy was hired.
Yep.
They got better players around him.
Yep.
Reggie Wayne, Dwight Freeney.
Mm-hmm.
And then they win 2 playoff games. And he throws 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in that playoff run, which they lose to the Patriots, obviously in Foxborough. Everyone remembers Tom Brady's Super Bowl year. Mm-hmm. And what does Stafford do in his first game outside of a toxic culture, a toxic organization, an organization that never gave him a Tony Dungy, never gave him a Sean McVay? What does he do? 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 77% completion percentage. Peyton Manning lost his first 3 playoff games. Everyone called the Colts a joke. They would never win. Could he ever win a playoff game? Now, different circumstances. He was 6-7 years into his career. But you know when Stafford's final playoff appearance came in? 6-7 years into his career. And then he spent 2015 to 2020 doing nothing. Sitting at home.
Yep.
6 years. His first 6 seasons, 3 playoff appearances. His last 6, 0. Matthew Stafford's the problem, right? As he entered his prime, they got worse. Wow. That makes sense, doesn't it, Jeff? As he entered his prime, they got worse. When Calvin retired, he played better.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the problem, right? Peyton Manning started his playoff career 0-3, just like Matthew Stafford did. And he played way worse. And he had, I could argue, better teams outside of the 2014 Lions. Now what? What about the 2011 Lions nobody talks about when they lost to the Saints, the eventual Super Bowl champions, which actually had a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
Young, but pretty decent. An explosive offense, record-breaking year for Calvin. What happened? Oh, you guys gave up 45 points to the Saints.
Stafford's fault.
He threw over 400 yards. It doesn't matter. And this is what kills me with you guys. He could go out against Tampa Bay and lose 41-38.
And someone's got to
throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. And if he loses, it doesn't matter. And it never matters because it's not convenient to your pathetic argument. Your pathetic argument. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, Peyton Manning's, 3 losses were in his first 5 seasons. Stafford's were in his first 6. It's pretty damn close. Excuse me. 0-3, 0-3. Tony Dungy, Jim Caldwell. Tony Dungy, Matt Patricia. Tony Dungy, now Sean McVay, now he wins a playoff game, right? Right? Manning went 13-3 his second year. Absolutely he did. Absolutely. Who was the Colts GM at the time? I think you know who he is. Bill Polian. Guys, the knock isn't even on Stafford at this point, and that's what I'm trying to get across to you. The knock has always and will always be the franchise. What do you need to see from Stafford where you can just agree, all right, yeah, Detroit was a mess for those 12 years? The first 6 seasons, they made the playoffs 3 times. His final 6, they never sniffed it. How does that make any sense to you? And you still want to argue with me? How? How are we doing this? How are we doing this? Because he was a Lion? You think I'm happy that this guy was traded away and is delivering success year 1 somewhere else? You think that makes me happy? No, what the hell it doesn't. But I was one of the people that said you have to trade him and rebuild. It's not going to work here. We have failed this quarterback. Yep. Let him go do something somewhere else. And look at him. He's doing it.
First year.
Am I surprised? Honestly, not really. I always saw it in Stafford. Now, did I see Rodgers, Brady, Manning? No, guys, no. But you don't need that upper echelon quarterback to win playoff games, to win divisions. God damn it, Cutler has a division. Trubisky has a division title.
Yep.
Stop. Just stop. You continue to hate, and you'll continue to discredit, and I understand you can't admit you're wrong. I get it. I really do. I know it's hard for your ego. I know your ego means a lot to you. But trust me, guys, as someone that has no issue being wrong on something, the best thing to do is just admit it. Just admit you're wrong and move on. I don't want to have to sit up here for the entire NFL playoffs and have to talk about Matthew Stafford because you guys just won't accept that the Detroit Lions have always been the problem. That seems crazy to me. I'll tell you what else is crazy. Dak Prescott's comments after the game, totally out of character, Jeff.
Yeah.
What would you make of the comments to the apology?
Well, I understand the comments, obviously, after an emotional playoff win. And listen, we knew the Dallas Cowboys would fall short. I don't think anybody's surprised. With that roster and those results, how Dak played, I could see why his immediate reaction was, they tell him the fans were throwing stuff at the players originally, and then they told him it was the refs, and he pretty much, condemned it, and he said it was okay. So with that, I have an issue. But again, Dak Prescott, this is the guy he is. And no one's questioning Dak Prescott's character. Everybody knows he's a quarterback. He checks all the boxes in terms of mental, in terms of being a leader. So I'm not surprised he took the comments back. What surprises me is how much Dallas was really, I guess, I don't know how they feel now, but after the game, they really believed it was the refs. Like, that was the genuine thing around Dallas is, I don't know if the fans also believed it or they knew they could smell BS, but we knew Dallas players after the game, hey, listen, these refs bumping into Dak. I mean, that's how it's going to go. I mean, this Dallas team's going to have to make a change some way. I mean, Dak is saying what Dak says. I don't have an issue with it. He came out on Twitter and said, I apologize, didn't mean it, wasn't talking, was just frustrated after a loss. So I understand that, but I think that's just the reality of the Cowboys knowing, listen, we have, on paper, one of the best rosters in the league. We have one of the highest payrolls in the league, and we get bounced by the 49ers, led by Jimmy G, who won't even be here next year. Like, it's a self-reflection, I'd call it that, for the Cowboys. A year where you had all these high hopes with this. We changed the defense.
I'm so tired of this. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of this.
What's happening?
Jared Goff led the Rams to the Super Bowl. He threw one mother effing touchdown. The entire playoffs.
Yeah, but the Patriots...
In 3 games. In 3 games, he threw a touchdown. Matthew Stafford, in 1 playoff game, threw more touchdowns than Jared Goff did in his first 4. You guys are insane. You guys are actually delusional and insane. I cannot even believe it. Well, they won a playoff game with Wolford. Yes, they have a good roster. That's not the point. But now Jared Goff can do a Stafford? No, the hell he can't. You have somebody sloppy seconds, and they gave you 2 first-round picks for it.
Yep.
I told you guys earlier, and again, we're talking midway into the season, and you laughed. The Lions and the Rams won the trade, and that was, according to all of you, a hot take. No, it isn't. The Lions got a bridge quarterback and 2 first-round picks. Rebuild the roster. The Rams get a much better quarterback, go make a Super Bowl run. But don't talk to me about their Super Bowl run when you can't even win a goddamn division. Jared Goff, 1 touchdown pass on the road to the Super Bowl that he led them with an average defense, right? No, it wasn't Todd Gurley leading the way. It wasn't that defense in the postseason that were ranked in the top 3 in the postseason in terms of defensive stats. No, it wasn't that. Jared Goff led them. You guys are wild. This whole Detroit versus everybody stuff, unreal. It's not about Detroit versus everybody. It's Detroit versus themselves. Get yourselves out of the crap you put yourself in. I am so tired of it. Something goes wrong, a team doesn't play well, Detroit versus everybody. Mm-hmm. Why? I don't want to hear it. I don't. I just don't get it. I'll never understand how we, you know what? I can't. I feel like I'm talking to people. I feel like I'm not even talking to people. I'm talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
When it comes to these Stafford doubters, it's unbelievable. Like, they can't even acknowledge. Jared Goff would have won that game last night. You know what? Most quarterbacks in the NFL, when they're up 21-0 and the run game is working, likely win that football game. But how did they get to 21-0?
Bingo.
Matthew Stafford's fade route to Odell Beckham in the corner of the end zone.
Beautiful pass.
Matthew Stafford quarterback sneak into the end zone, up 14-0. A pick 6, great play by the defense. Stupid by Kyler Murray. What do you want them to throw the ball up 21-0? So they can, it's just, you can't win. You can't win. You can't win at all. You really can't.
No.
What will Adham say if Goff wins a playoff game here in Detroit? I would be unbelievably happy and shocked. But who do you trust more, Sean McVay with Jared Goff or Dan Campbell right now? That's what I thought. Lions are in prove-it mode. Stafford went to a proven team. That's what you've always wanted from the Lions, you idiots. That's what you've always wanted. Was a winning team, a structured team. Mm-hmm. And you know what you got? Nothing. You got nothing in 12 years. But it's the quarterback's fault, right? All right? Just so you guys know in the chat, and I'll talk to King Petty on YouTube. It's not that you said anything about last year with Goff. You have to keep into context. I am addressing a boatload of Stafford people who say a complete A to Z amount of things that don't make any sense. And honestly, I haven't even seen what you've said.
Well,
so, I don't want you to take that the wrong way. I am not addressing you, King Petty. Now I am.
But hold on. Listen, I love you, King Petty, but I can't let King Petty get off the hook.
What did he say?
He did say, look at the other playoff games by Stafford. Like, that was his, like, evidence. Like, well, look at the other playoff games. He lost all of them. But I don't like that argument.
Hear me out.
That's a tough argument.
King Petty, I am willing to give you that. Can we shake hands on it? Can we shake hands on Matthew Stafford's first 3 playoff games? If we can, you have to shake my hand and go look at Peyton Manning's first 3 playoff games. And go look at Jared Goff's first 3 playoff games. Go. But go look at Peyton Manning's. Stafford beat him across the board in every statistical category. And they were both 0-3. Stop. Just stop it.
Because I get it, like the Goff supporters, which I support Goff, but there's a difference between saying, well, give Goff those guys. Give Goff Cooper Kupp. He did. He had that team. He had now Von Miller, Odell Beckham were later added, but Jalen Ramsey was still there. Aaron Donald was still there. And their offense went from 14-5 with one move. That move being quarterback?
Wait, wasn't their defense ranked number 1 last year?
It was.
What is it this year?
It's about 15, middle of the pack. So,
I can't. I really can't with some of these people. And it's not only people in the chat. Like, you guys, don't be ignorant. There's people watching on Twitter. There's people all over Twitter messaging me every day. This is not just about singular you. I'm addressing all of you in a vacuum. Whether your reason is because he needs to win more, he's not Jared Goff, he's not Peyton Manning, he's not Tom Brady, or Jared Goff could have done the same thing as him. I don't. All in a vacuum today. Just can't handle it. Whew, we got to go to break. I apologize. When we get back, what should the Detroit Lions do with the second first-round pick? Mel Kiper released his latest mock draft. Some mock drafts even have the Lions trading back to 6. A lot of scenarios. What will the Lions do in the first round? We'll get to that next. But before we go, Jeff, could you tell everybody about Lady Jane's?
Yes, listen, guys. As you can see, I've been complaining about my hair. And I got my hair cut, and I know a lot of you guys as well need a haircut. I know where I could send you. It's Lady Jane's. I'm here right now. I'm looking at the chairs. You guys could walk in, get one of the greatest experiences you've ever had, sit in one of the comfy chairs, watch Sports Center, and before you know it, you're walking out with a fresh new haircut. Get to Lady Jane's. They're open 10 to 8. 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, Joy.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff, the Lions hold the number 2 overall pick and a late first-round pick still to be decided, given the Rams are still in the playoffs. Then what? What do they do? We can get to the first pick later.
Yeah.
I feel like the first pick is always up in the air. Edge rusher, trade back, Kyle Hamilton, etc., etc., etc. Great. What do you do at the end of the first round, Jeff? Who are you looking at? And Sam Howell is who Mel Kiper has the Detroit Lions pursuing.
This is, I've done a lot of thinking about this. At first, you want to say the first pick, to me, I'm just going to answer the question. I think it's going to have to be a game wrecker. You need an edge for that second overall pick specifically. Now, what do you do with the Rams pick? And to me, obviously the Rams won the playoff game. You move back a couple spots. It depends who falls to you. And, I mean, I trust Brad Holmes enough. The guy has hit on Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. He's found other guys. Obviously did a good job in the first round last year. We'll see if he can kind of duplicate that. But with the second first-round pick, for a while I was wide receiver because that was me assuming some wide receiver would be there. Now, mind you, I still agree with that, but I wouldn't have a problem if both picks were defense. And I don't think many people in this chat would agree or disagree as well. Like, you go edge rusher first pick, if a linebacker is at that second pick or there's a great, secondary player, then you go with it to me. And then you save that early second round pick for maybe a wide receiver or vice versa. So it really depends on who Brad Holmes is in love with. Now, mind you, if Brad Holmes is in love with Sam Howell, I would say buyers beware. And it's nothing to do with Sam Howell. It's more so, are the Lions committed to a quarterback this year? And if you're committed to a quarterback this year and you take him in the first round, he's starting. He's going to be behind Jared Goff, and that's your guy. There's no going back. There's no next year for maybe Bryce Young. There's no next year for or the following year for maybe C.J. Stroud. You're sticking with Sam Howell, and he's your guy. And people like to give Sam Howell flack for his last season compared to this season. Lost his running back, so he kind of declined a little bit. I don't know if Sam Howell's the guy. I'm not obviously general manager, but with Brad Holmes, if he feels like Sam Howell's the best prospect, the best quarterback talent, and he feels like we have to take him, then do it. But buyers beware, because if it doesn't work out, I'm going to have to sit up here and we're going to criticize you. So to me, you go defense first pick, obviously edge rusher, game wrecker, you need it. Second first round pick, to me, wide receiver, linebacker. That's how I'm doing it. If you go defense, so be it. But that second early first round pick is important because it's gonna give you some flexibility. If there's a wide receiver that can fall, you take him with your second. But to me, Brad Holmes has done a good job in the draft, so I'm not really going to complain too much. Just buyers beware on the quarterback. That's really all I got to say. Just watch out. Just watch out. If it's Sam Howell.
Oh, my goodness. Goodness. Easy, easy, easy. My friend, I do care about you dearly. Peyton Manning was not 33 years old when he was 0-3 in the playoffs. Neither was Stafford. Stafford was, 27, 28 years old? Manning was 26, 27. Manning was 5 years in when he was 0-3. Stafford was 6 years in when he was 0-3. Tony Dungy comes in with Bill Polian. The Lions get Jim Caldwell, Matt Patricia. What are we doing? You guys are all over the place. It's okay. It's funny. Honestly, it's funny. I don't mind the Lions taking a quarterback because I do have faith in Brad Holmes. Let me just get this out of the way. I am not opposed to taking a quarterback with the second round pick or the second first round pick. Fair? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Given Brad Holmes, I think, has earned the right to make big decisions. Great. I struggle with Sam Howell, man. Even before the season started, when they were ranked 10th in the nation, it was tough for me to accept Sam Howell. And now you have Desmond Ridder. Kenny Pickett may go in the top 5. Who knows? Carolina may trade up and draft him. So the Giants may trade up and get him. Or they may wait for him. Who knows? There's so many unexpected things that could happen up until that second pick in the first round when you have the Rams pick. Kobe Dean's not going to be there. He's going to top 10, top 11, top 12. So who are you getting? Ahmad Gardner? Who? Devin Lloyd? I don't mind him. Out of Utah? Okay, we need a linebacker. Haven't even addressed Anzalone's goodbye message, it looked like. Is he staying with the Lions? So you need linebackers. You need secondary help. You need edge rushers. Don't get it. Don't get it. I really don't. I do want to address something, actually, real quick.
I knew you were. You were looking.
You say it like he has some insane sort of trajectory when the man is 33 years old. I'm not all over the place. The guy's comparing Stafford to Manning. Yeah. Go look at Matthew Stafford's first 6 seasons and go look at Peyton Manning's first 6 seasons. Go ahead. Put them side by side. Come back to me. Not off as you think. Oh, well, Stafford played in the passing era. Okay, fine. I can give you that. They both still started 0-3 in their playoff careers. One got Tony Dungy and fulfilled his potential, but he only ended up with 1 Super Bowl, which nobody talks about. And the other is still playing, still has an opportunity to change the narrative of his career, but we still can't accept, all right, Detroit was the problem. We still can't move on from the subject. It's hilarious to me. But I like Lloyd. I do like Lloyd out of Utah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like Lloyd out of Utah. I think that would be a good first-round pick. You need a linebacker, Detroit. Is Okudah moving to safety? If he's not, what are you doing at the top of the board? Like, there's so many questions I have. Are you actually going to take Kyle Hamilton at number 2? Are you all in on Kyle Hamilton at number 2? Are you taking an edge rusher? You need both. You need safety help.
Yep, linebacker.
You need linebacker help. You need edge rusher help. You need so much help. So the Lions can't really go wrong at the positional selection. Now, who they take, that's going to be a big deal. That's going to matter. Will they work out? Are they going to be a good player? Et cetera, et cetera. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Justin Spiro, to be fair, Manning didn't have any good weapons. Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison, they were booty. I agree. I agree. And not only that, let's not forget Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney. Let's not forget the safety, I forget his name, Bob Sanders. Let's not forget some of those guys in the not early, but mid-2000s. Let's not forget them. Devin Lloyd isn't a first-round pick. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think he goes late first round. I think Devin Lloyd out of Utah selected between 24 and 32. 100%. I am willing to make a bet with you on that.
He's a game changer. So,
look, Kyle Hamilton, everybody can agree. I think consensus across the board jumps off the screen. I would love to have him. I have no issues drafting him. But god dang it, I'm sorry taking him at number 2. When we were talking about, you have to take into account risk. I would like to have Hamilton at 4 or 6, but does it matter when you hit on the guy? No, it doesn't. I totally understand that point. But who's taking a safety at number 2 these days? If I remember, Sean Taylor was what, the 5th overall pick? That was the highest the safety had been taken up until then. Number 5. But Kyle Hamilton's damn good, man. He's damn good. But you need an edge rusher. Guys, what is the kryptonite to a good quarterback? Not Ed Reed, even though he's amazing, but he's the anomaly standard. Just a good pass rusher. Ezekiel Ansah, how much of an impact did he make for this Detroit Lions team? Robert Porcher, even the white dude with the red contact lenses, I forget his name. When you have an edge rush, it helps you win football games. It keeps your defense off the field. You're more efficient on 3rd and long situations. You can get to the quarterback. You can win football games with an edge rusher. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Whew, we got to go to break. When we get back, so much to talk about. We'll continue on 9:13 in the morning here, beautiful downtown Birmingham. But before we go, guys, MyBookie is where it's at. Bet anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. It's NFL postseason time. Playoffs have already started. Start betting dollar for dollar bets up to $1,000. So what does that mean? You deposit $1,000, they're going to match you $1,000. You deposit $100, they'll match you $100. Take advantage of it. Use code Woodward. And as always, if you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Live from Woodward Avenue. That's why we're called Woodward Sports. Detroit's radio sports network.
Oh, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. You know, I'm trying to be polite this morning. You really don't. I'm really trying my best here.
Can I say something to you guys?
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you're thinking this or not. You guys should really hope that the Rams beat the Bucs next week.
Why?
Because you're going to hear it from all the Lions fans next week.
How?
I just want you to know that.
Matthew Stafford has already won the same amount of playoff games as the Lions have in their entirety, Fish.
I understand that, but I'm just saying you're going to hear it from Lion fans.
If Stafford's hands are not clean, which I actually agree with, in the 3 playoff games he played, even though he was really good against the Saints, and the last 2 he was butt cheeks. If I can give you that, you need to admit the Detroit Lions have never been clean. And they never gave him a head coach like Sean McVay.
Bingo.
They never gave him a goddamn GM.
Bingo.
They never gave him a goddamn roster. And go put the 2014 roster compared to this one. It's not even close. Don't you dare.
They're going to tell you Jim Caldwell.
You want to talk to me about Jared Goff took this team? They could win. Jared Goff threw 1 touchdown on the way to the Super Bowl. That whole entire run. which they lost. And they only put up 3 points in the Super Bowl, which is when the relationship between him and McVay started to deteriorate. Oh, they lost 2 games to the Niners. The Niners won a playoff game this year, guys. Week 1, I said they would be Super Bowl dark horses. And you laughed. And here they are in the divisional round. They just beat the Cowboys on the road. Unreal.
All I'm trying to tell you is I'm trying to prepare you for Monday, Sunday on the Twitters, and then, of course, Monday for the show, that you will be blasted if the Rams lose. So I just want you to prepare yourself.
How? The argument is done. Matthew Stafford could not win a big game in Detroit, right? He could never win a big game. Even when he left, he could not win the big game. He wouldn't win the division. You left. Russell Wilson's going to win the division. Kyler Murray's going to win the division. Who won the division this year? Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Who won a playoff game this year? Matthew Stafford and the Rams. But now it doesn't matter because it's not convenient anymore. Because you can't say stuff like, oh, well, he can't win the big game. Oh, well, he only threw 17 passes at him. Why would he throw more when they're up 21-0? Because he led them on 2 scoring drives and they got a pick 6.
And you're running the ball the way they are.
And they're running the ball all over the run defense of the Cardinals that isn't any good.
These guys know football. You know that.
No, they don't. Don't give them that credit.
I mean,
they don't
come
know.
on.
Justin Spiro, I love you, man. I love the sarcasm. Sam Howell, number 2 overall. Kenneth Walker, 32nd. Naylor, 34th. Stop it. Stop it. You know what? Honestly, the Lions are in such a weird position, though. I do want to continue on the Lions. Picking second and then picking what? Anywhere from 25 to 32. Can we all get on the same page just for a minute? Do we agree we all want an edge rusher? Yes?
Yes. We can all mutually agree there.
Do we all agree you need a linebacker? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
You likely can solve both of those issues in the first round. Now, do I agree you need a wide receiver? Yes. But your GM picked, I could argue, the 3rd best wide receiver from that draft class in the 4th round. I will give Holmes a break. He wants to take a wide receiver in the 2nd, 3rd round. It's on him. He has earned the right to make decisions you may not even agree with. And even if I don't agree with any draft pick he makes, I can sit back and say, I have faith right now in this moment in Brett Holmes. I have faith in him. And I think he's doing a hell of a job. You can trade down and get Hamilton, sure. But you run the risk. You no longer control who you get, right?
Yeah.
Who's going number 1 overall? I think it's Evan Neal. But the more I see the Giants trading up to that pick and drafting Kenny Pickett, the more I see you're going to have your choice of Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, and Kyle Hamilton. Those are your 3 options, Detroit, at number 2. Edge, linebacker, secondary. You need to address it more than a wide receiver. Dan Campbell, whether you like it or not, was a hell of a lot better than Anthony Lynn. And honestly, the creativity, you can't argue, the creativity at the end of the year was actually fun to watch. And they were able to get Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, everybody involved. Imagine with a healthy Hawkinson. They don't need to take a wide receiver number. They can get Mechie maybe in the 2nd round. Who knows how far he'll fall? Edge rusher, linebacker, safety at some point in the first 2 days.
Yeah.
At some point. What do you do with Okudah? What do you do with Okudah? If you take a... You know what? I don't even think I've even thought of this before. If you move Okudah to safety, are you sold on the secondary in terms of cornerbacks?
No.
Do you go Stingley out of LSU? Do you trade back and grab him? Because I bet he'd be available more so than Kyle Hamilton.
Something about just trading back and taking a secondary.
It does bother me, even though I want the draft capital. I have less control of who I get. Now, if I trade back to 4, I'm good.
Yeah, then you have
I
more
trade
of a
back to 4, I'm getting Thibodeau, Hutchinson, or Hamilton. It is a guarantee.
Yeah.
There's no chance in hell Evan Neal or Kenny Pickett don't go in the top 3, top 4. So if I can at least trade back to 4, I think you're in business. And I think it's worth getting, what, a 2nd, a 3rd round pick? That's valuable when you have Brad Holmes in charge. It is valuable. So yes, whoever you walk away from in the 2nd round, or excuse me, with the 2nd pick in the 1st round, It is very important. It is on the defensive side of the ball. But I could argue, who's available? Will they take a quarterback? Jeff, are you taking Sam Howell with the second pick?
Hell no.
Any quarterback?
Hell no.
Yeah, let's just say Brad Holmes does it. What's the mindset for you post-draft reaction? I know it's difficult when it doesn't happen, where it's all hypothetical, but post-draft reaction, a defensive player, number 2 overall, Sam Howell, number 26, 27, 28, depends where the Rams finish.
I would be a little disappointed. Let me tell you why. And I understand Brad Holmes. I'm not going to question the man's scouting ability, but I'd be a little disappointed because we talked about it all year. Don't feel like you have to force your hand at quarterback. And taking Sam Howell 2 overall when you have Jared Goff for at least another year or two, to me, like, you take him too high not to play him, but then you play him, and now that's your guy. That's your quarterback. I don't know if I want him 2nd overall. I'd rather have Jared Goff as, like, keeping the boat afloat, if you will, just for a little bit. Maybe you take one later in the rounds. Maybe you wait till next year or the following year. To me, I would rather put the team together first and then take the quarterback rather than taking a quarterback 2nd overall, dropping him on the Lions and saying good luck. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, but not going to question Brad Holmes. I don't know. At this point, I can't really question him, but if he took Sam Howell number 2 overall, despite what Justin was joking about, I'd have to question him. I'd have to question him, so I'd have a problem with it. I think defense, first 2 picks, maybe a wide receiver with that second first-round pick, I'll be okay with it, but if you're going quarterback, like Kenny Pickett or Sam Howell, I don't know. That's a decision I have to sleep for like a week on and then rethink about it and be like, all right, am I okay with it or not?
You're paying $30 million for Jared Goff.
Yep.
You know that when his contract expires in a few seasons, that you can get him on the cheap to keep him. And again, he's not going to break records next year. Do you think he's throwing 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,400 yards next year? Is that really the Lions' play style? No, it's going to be run-heavy packages, play action, controlling the clock, and limiting the amount of possessions the opposing team has. And if you take a quarterback, I don't think it's the year. I really don't. And as much as I want to say comfortably that I can sit up here and say, I trust Brad Holmes, that pick honestly would get me questioning a lot of things. It's tough for me to accept that type of late first-round pick when I can't move off of Jared Goff for minimum 2 years, realistically. And it's going to cost me if I do.
Mm-hmm.
The roster's nowhere near ready to overcompensate for a rookie quarterback. Why don't you just wait till 2023? You're going to have 2 first-round picks. You can give both of them up, a future first, and maybe a future second to trade up in the top 3, top 5 if you need to draft your quarterback. That is the more aggressive and correct play than drafting Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder at 24. Like, I like Desmond Ridder a little bit. I really do. Like, there's something about all of these quarterbacks that I just like, but it's not enough for me to pull the trigger on. It's tough, man.
It is tough. And I see a lot of people agreeing with me. I see the Malik Willis discussions a whole lot, and I don't know. And I know Dan Campbell, they're going to go over there and coach the Senior Bowl. They're going to get a good look at a lot of these guys. So with a guy like Malik Willis, I know you gave your opinion on Malik Willis, but like realistically, if the Lions take him with that Rams pick, like
I would vomit.
You would vomit. Okay, just had to get that out there. Just had to get that out there.
I'm sorry. I may get arrested for this. I would become an arsonist. I would bring a ton of Molotovs down to Ford Field, and I would start throwing them. Don't you dare draft Malik Willis at 24. He is not Lamar Jackson. And who are you to guarantee me that he can be anywhere near Lamar Jackson? And I'm not even 100% bought into Lamar. But he wins 70% of his games.
Bingo.
But he has John Harbaugh as his head coach. He has the Baltimore Ravens organization. And that coaching staff. That helps. What is Dan Campbell? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yet is the key word. Could be something. Nothing yet. We think we can bring in Malik Willis and run this type of offense and think we're going to dominate, take the league by storm? The league is kind of caught up to Lamar. He didn't even throw 20 touchdowns this year. I know he was injured. Less than 60% completion percentage. Double-digit turnovers in terms of interceptions. Come on. Malik Willis. I don't even want to hear it. If you want to take Malik Willis in the 4th round, maybe I'll accept it. But don't you dare take him in the 1st round. Or even the 2nd round. Jeff, I may lose my mind. With that draft pick.
That I would lose my mind. I would agree with you. I mean, listen, one season at Liberty, 2 seasons, I believe, one good season, but then he had a stretch where when he finally faced Ole Miss, respectable team on the year, top really 12 team all year, he crapped the bed. So that worries me, but at the same time, I mean, he would be a project player, but I just don't like that. I mean, project player, I would have to be absolutely sold on at least the talent. With Malik Willis, I'm not completely, but Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes will have a chance to look at him, so we'll see what they think.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens. Lamar can't stand in the pocket in the cold on 3rd and 9 and deliver strikes. I do agree with that. I think it's proven. I don't even have to agree with it. That's just a fact. That is just a fact. But yeah, look, I think most Lions fans would be against Malik Willis in the first round. I think that's... Guys, again, Lamar Jackson is faster than every human on a football field. Malik Willis is not. Go watch the Ole Miss tape. You think he's going to go to the NFL and do what Lamar did? Because that's what he's going to have to do to be successful. And what Lamar's doing is kind of unheard of, honestly, at this point. And we're still very early on in his career.
Yeah.
So we got to go to break. When we get back, we're going to redraft the quarterbacks from the 2021 draft. But before we do, I got to tell you about our good friends at Gypsy Vodka, the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Gypsy's gluten-free and corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. Support our local brothers here up in Petoskey, Michigan, and try a bottle today. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and as always, please drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Whew. All right, Jeff. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson.
Yep.
Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Let's redraft this, shall we? The number 1 overall pick. Who are you taking?
So I do a lot
in terms of quarterback.
A lot of thinking about this, obviously, and to me, it's not always. And mind you, people are going to look at statistics. That's what everyone loves to do. But you got to look at situationally, talent, ceiling. You know, these are things I took into consideration when drafting these quarterbacks. So number 1, I'm staying with Trevor Lawrence, and that's my opinion. I mean, Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year. Now, mind you, Trevor Lawrence dealing with a whole lot in Jacksonville, but I still believe the most talented, the most upside in this out of all the quarterbacks. I like Zach Wilson, obviously, Justin Fields. You got Mac Jones, Trey Lance, but I'm going Trevor Lawrence. He's my first round. He's my first overall pick still. If they can get a functional head coach and start building a culture in Jacksonville, maybe building some consistency over there, I think Trevor will be just fine.
I will agree. I think Trevor Lawrence will be just fine. New coach, hopefully, new regime change.
Yep.
Figure it out. You got the talented quarterback. Let's start to see it. Come on, Jacksonville. Get it together. I'm not changing the number 1 overall pick. Number 2, the Jets. Taking Zach Wilson, buddy?
Nope.
Who are you taking?
Trey Lance.
Okay.
I like what I see out of Trey Lance.
Okay.
And maybe I'm a little biased. I like Trey Lance. I just been loving the kid ever since he came out of the draft. But anyway, I think with the Jets, Zach Wilson is and maybe it is still Zach Wilson. I have him really 2 and 3. Zach Wilson could very well still go to the Jets, but to me, Trey Lance has the most upside. But a little bit of a project player. So, yeah, the Jets do need a start now quarterback, so maybe it is Zach Wilson, but I'm talking talent. I'm ranking in talent, and I think Trey Lance will have a better career than Zach Wilson, but maybe that's just me.
I am going to disagree. I'm going to stick with Zach Wilson here. I'm going to stick with Zach Wilson. He showed me some good moments towards the end of the season. I think Jets fans are optimistic going into the offseason. You want to see a much better version of him next year, obviously, but Zach Wilson, for me, showed me enough in New York especially at the tail end, given he was injured for the middle part of the season, where I am going to buy in. I'm going to stick with the Zach Wilson pick. Here's where we're going to disagree, or at least I hope so. I'm taking Mac Jones to the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, so you're doing fit. Okay, I respect that.
Well, no, we're just going to redraft it.
I'm just doing skill. Who I would take top 5, 6.
I'm going to take who I think can be the most successful in that situation. I don't think Trey Lance goes to New York and is something so different than Zach Wilson.
Maybe I take that back.
I mean, you can have a different philosophy. I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But for me, number 3, San Francisco, give me Mac Jones.
Yeah,
give me Mac Jones, and I think you're probably still the same team this year. Jimmy G is still starting, but Mac Jones gets a whole year to sit and absorb and take it in. And I think you don't miss a beat once you trade Jimmy G. With Trey Lance, it's kind of up in the air. Are we going to regress? Or are we just going to hit a whole new ceiling? That's yet to be determined with Trey Lance. Let's go to the Chicago Bears now, the next team that picked. On my board, Justin Fields and Trey Lance are available. On your board, Mac Jones and Justin Fields are available. What are you doing?
For me, I'm going to stick with Zach Wilson. I mean, that's my...
is it Zach Wilson to the Bears,
yes.
Mac Jones to the Niners? You're going to agree?
Yes, because listen, with me, Mac Jones, for situationally, he is statistically the best quarterback. We understand this, but he also went to the best situation. So you got to acknowledge that. So with the Bears, maybe you go Zach Wilson, maybe you go Justin Fields. I mean, at this point, you're getting to the teams that really just need a quarterback. It's not really a great situation for either of them, but to me, they both can run. They both can do both things that Chicago's asking of Justin Fields, but it's really who you like. Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. I'll take Zach Wilson. Maybe that's just me.
All right. For the Chicago situation, I'm going to stick with Justin Fields. I need a high-character guy. Mac Jones is already off the board.
Yep.
Trey Lance is too dynamic, too much of I don't know. And look, I'm not saying Justin Fields is the answer right now, but I'm not changing my pick. I like Justin Fields. High character. Give me the high-character guy over the elite arm talent that I don't even know anything about. I don't know anything about. Who's that?
No, he
Nice
knows
to
the
see
guy
you
in the
too.
car.
Anyways, I'm taking Justin Fields in Chicago, and then, of course, New England. I think they take the flyer on the high ceiling, could be something special, Trey Lance.
Oh, okay. I respect it.
Look, man, I really think if the Niners could go back and do it all over,
I like Trey Lance.
Yeah, because I like Trey Lance too, but again, we're sitting at a really odd point. The Niners are in a divisional round game.
I know.
In Lambeau. What's Jimmy G going to give you? You're likely going to trade him. You're likely going to get a lot of good picks for him. But what does life with Trey Lance look like? Is it Colin Kaepernick-esque? Is it Lamar Jackson-esque? What does it look like? Nobody knows. Even with the game sample sizes we've had, you're not quite sure, is he ready? And I think a whole nother offseason with Kyle Shanahan is going to do the kid wonders. Especially with that offensive coordinator who, may I say, I am falling in love with by the minute. I have never seen a guy talk football like him.
Loves
the way
football.
he talks about football, not only does he love it, the way he articulates it, my goodness. Kyle Shanahan, God bless.
Yeah. Let me ask you, though, about the Mac Jones pick.
Yeah.
So you pick Mac Jones, and you understand you're in a division with Russell Wilson, who probably isn't going anywhere, as of right now, at least. You have Matthew Stafford now, Kyler Murray. Are you confident that Mac Jones in a couple years will be amongst at least top 3?
I don't know.
That's the problem.
Did you think Tom Brady would be that? And that's kind of the comparison right now in New England, right?
But I think Trey Lance has more upside to be.
100%.
Yeah, that's maybe why I'm
100%.
thinking, but...
Space Boy, if you're going to come in the chat and say some really crazy things about Jim Caldwell, please be right about it at least. Please, do me a favor. Caldwell shouldn't have been fired. Yes, he should have.
We're backtracking.
He had all winning seasons, never had a losing season. He was 7-9 his second year. Please, can we stop? I'm begging you. Can we stop the Caldwell stuff? Caldwell would not have changed your fortunes. He was a C to C+ head coach. You had a horrible GM. The roster was falling apart. You needed to go into a rebuild. The Fords decided it was a great idea to hire in the smart people. That didn't work. And not only did it not work, they gave them an extra year where you had the number 3 overall pick, where you could have taken Justin Herbert.
Could have, yep.
But no! You want to publicly tell them, if you don't win this season, we're going to fire you. Oh, well, we can't draft a quarterback. That's not going to help us. We have Stafford right now. Let's go draft the corner out of Ohio State. Well, our team sucks. Unbelievable. We got to go to break. When we get back, Jeremy Grant has been at the top of all trade rumor discussion, not only in the NBA, but obviously as a part of the Detroit Pistons. Will they trade him? What will they get for him, Jeff? Who are the hot teams that are looking for Jeremy Grant? And did you see that report the other day that came out?
Oh, I nearly SHIT myself. I almost crapped myself. After I saw that report, I was like, Sadiq Bey? Jeremy Grant, a first-round pick? And then I checked it, and it was
Did you see
all
Jeremy
bogus.
Grant's preference
It was bogus.
on where he wants to
no,
go?
No, I did not.
Oh, I'll tell you that after the break.
Can't wait to get into it.
But before we go to break, I do want to mention that you can tune in to the morning show, Big D Energy, The Bottom Line, all of our podcasts, after the fact, of course, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we are likely there. Check us out after the show if you missed it, or you can play it back on YouTube. You can play it back on Twitter, but it's more convenient on YouTube, or just listen to the podcast. Have fun either way. We'll see you guys right after the break.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Start your new year with a new network. Woodward Sports Network is here.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. DJ Play Busy. What is up? First of all, C to C plus question mark. That would be a 500 head coach. He has a losing record in the playoffs. He's lost his last 4 playoff games. Or excuse me, his last 3. Excuse me?
Yeah.
He only got 3 seasons. Last I checked, he was in Detroit for 4. Oh, you're talking about Indianapolis. Oh, of course. When Peyton Manning was there the first year, they went, 14-2, I believe?
Yep.
And then they regressed, and they went 10-6, but the division was so bad, so they won the division. And then they went 2-12 because Peyton Manning was hurt. 2-14.
That showed.
Because Peyton was hurt. And they let go of him because they didn't see anything in him, and they felt like they peaked with Jim Caldwell. Doesn't that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? He gets a job in Detroit, peaks year 1, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, and the team feels like they have peaked under Jim Caldwell. He hasn't delivered a playoff win. He hasn't delivered a division. They want to move on. He shouldn't have been fired. He shouldn't have been fired, right? Yes, he's a C to C plus head coach. He is. He is. That's why you've never won divisions. That's why you've never won playoff games. Because you've never hired a B, B+, A- head coach. You never even sniffed it. You've never even sniffed it. Jim Caldwell getting all these rumored jobs, right? He's going to get these jobs. I would love to see him get hired so I can ridicule him and mock him for the awful job I already know he'll do. And I like Jim.
Yeah, I like Jim.
He's a decent coach.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack.
He's a good coach.
C plus coach.
Yeah.
Ain't winning me divisions. Ain't winning me playoff games. Not getting me to a Super Bowl anytime soon. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You know how many coaches got Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl?
Don't get into that, Adam.
Should I say it? How many coaches did Peyton Manning take to the Super Bowl?
You got Adam Gase a job.
How many? I want to know.
Oh, God.
I want to know.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I know. If I'm correct, it's 4. I just have to double-check the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Lost in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh, God damn it. He did. I was right. He took Tony Dungy, who's a very good, damn good coach, Jim Caldwell, John Fox, and Gary Kubiak to the Super Bowl. Jim Caldwell's a great we got to the Super Bowl. Losers, man. Don't understand. Don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't. Whew. 4 coaches he took to the Super Bowl, Jeff. That's just on accident, you know? Those coaches were all Hall of Fame level coaches. They carried Peyton to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I'm not even ready for this next topic.
Yeah.
Jeff, kick it off. Jeremy Grant, rumored to be a hot target before the trade deadline. What do you make of the rumors? Where should he go, and what do you expect they will get?
Well, where he should go, I know there's a lot of teams that are intrigued by Jeremy Grant. I think he is right now. If you look at all around the league, not a lot of guys are available. And out of all the guys that are available, I mean, Bobo just got traded, breaking news, to the Boston Celtics. But with Jeremy Grant, he's the hot commodity. I mean, playoff teams understand that he has 1 more year left on his contract. He's a player that can get you, 17, 18 points. He can guard multiple positions, shoot threes. I mean, the guy he's a good player. Don't get that wrong. So a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. I hear the Lakers, Trailblazers, Knicks, Jazz, Wizards. You got Pacers, Timberwolves, Kings. I mean, you got more and more. I think when they first really announced Jeremy Grant would be traded, I think half the team called Troy Weaver just to inquire about Jeremy Grant. So the question is, what can they get for Jeremy? And in my opinion, what you get for Jeremy is kind of a similar deal to what Aaron Gordon got last year when he went from the Orlando Magic over to the Denver Nuggets. They traded him for, I believe it was 2 first-round picks, or it might have been first round and another player for Aaron Gordon. That's what they're going to have to. Some team's going to have to do. There's going to have to be a first-round pick involved. There's going to have to be some sort of high-upside player involved. I heard Washington. You got Denis from Washington. They selected him in the lottery a couple of years ago. Young player, high upside. Like, that's really who you want the Pistons targeting. Now, I don't think there's not a star any team's going to be willing to give away for Jeremy Grant, but you're looking to get a first-round pick. I mean, that's really the starting offer. And if Denver can get what they got for Aaron Gordon, similar player, fours who can really average about 18, 19 points. Aaron Gordon, you're kind of picking and choosing. I believe, in my opinion, Jeremy Grant's more valuable on the defensive side of the ball. So it's really going to have to be that. They have 1 year left. Teams are going to want him. First-round pick and a player. I mean, or a first-round pick, 2 first-round picks, whatever it is. Just get young talent who can has a high upside, or just first-round picks. That's what I'm looking for if I'm Troy Weaver. The guy knows how to trade. Made like 15 last year. As soon as he got into office, he started calling everybody making trades. So I know the guy has it in him. It's just a matter of what playoff team is willing to go all in. What team needs that extra piece they believe that'll help them take them over to the top. There's a couple teams, and I know they're going to be calling. So give me a first-round pick or 2, or a first-round pick and a high-upside player. I'll take that.
Yeah, honestly, Jeff, I'm not even quite sure what you get for Jeremy Grant in this moment.
That's tough, yeah. You got to compare it to other deals.
And nothing you get is going to fix this roster anyways. But now we're at a point where you just got to ship him. If you can get a first, oh my goodness. I mean, even if it's from the Lakers, even if it's from one of these teams that will likely be, anywhere from 22 to pick 31.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I like the job Troy Weaver has done in overhauling the roster. If you guys remember correctly, this was the same fan base that didn't want to see Reggie Jackson, Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond go because we thought it was okay to go and become a number 8 seed every single year and get swept in the first round. That was the standard. And now that we've actually overhauled the entire roster, we want to panic? No. They're going to suck. I'm not happy with Dwayne Casey right now, but I know they're not a good basketball team, especially with Jeremy Grant out. So yes, just move on. Go get a first-round pick if you can. I'm not sure what exactly he's going to command in the market right now. But I don't want to hear that, Troy Weaver's failed. No, you had to overhaul this whole place. Killian Hayes is the longest tenured player.
Yeah.
Killian Hayes. The point is, this was a complete gut job from day one. And nobody should have expected this team by the fourth year to really contend in the East. And we're only in year 2. Now, do you have every right to be frustrated with Dwayne Casey and the way the team is playing basketball? Absolutely. I have no issues with that. But let's not sit here and act like this has some complete roster, Jeff. They are missing so much.
Yeah.
What do you add in the offseason, Jeff? What do you add? Free agency, draft, doesn't matter.
The position I'm looking for is you're going to have to replace Jeremy Grant. You need a 4 or a 5. I mean, we need probably a 4 or a 5. You need a front court, and we can agree on that. You have your point guard, Cade Cunningham. You have your 2-3, Sadiq Bey. Now, you still need I'm a big fan of Jabari Smith. I think in the draft, you kind of go after that Jeremy Grant replacement. But in free agency, I think it's center, Adam. You got to get center.
DJ play busy, my boy. Jim Caldwell, I'm sorry, Jeff. Jim Caldwell and any other coach needs at least 5 years to turn around the team. He got a bad deal, and he deserved that last year. We had more success with him than any other coach in recent years. Your definition of success is why you are a loser, my friend. 0 divisions, 0 playoff wins. Success, my white ass. Kick rocks. 5 years to turn it around? Harbaugh took a franchise... And Jim Harbaugh, that had 7 losing seasons in the last 8, coming off a 6-10 record, and he took them to 3 straight NFC title games. First year, NFC title game. Second year, Super Bowl. 5 years, my ass. 5 years, huh? Kyle Shanahan got to a Super Bowl within 3 years. McVay got to a Super Bowl within 3 years. LaFleur's been to back-to-back NFC title games in his first 2 years, going probably to a third. 5 years? Give me a break. Dan Campbell's not getting 5 years, buddy. Nobody gets 5 years to win a division and win a playoff game. Not even Cliff Kingsbury. He's on the hot seat this year. He doesn't deliver this year, which means the upcoming season,
right.
He's gone. Nobody gets 5 years, bud. You don't get to waste 5 years of my life and deliver me a donut and think, oh, I'm just going to keep him around. Loser mentality, man. Loser. Unreal. Jeff, what the hell are you doing at the top of the board anyways at the draft lottery? Jabari Smith keeps coming to mind.
Yeah.
I kind of don't. I'm not opposed to it. But walk me through your mindset. What are you doing if you're the Pistons? What are you doing if you're Troy Weaver?
If I'm Troy Weaver, you talk about you're losing Jeremy Grant, so you're going to need a 4. You're going to need a 5, but I don't think you draft a 5 because they're going to be a top 5 pick. Could be 2, could be 3, could be 4, could be 1. You don't know. So with the Detroit Pistons, I think Jabari Smith I favor just because of his length. I mean, 6'10", shoot the ball, can guard, 1 through, not 1, probably like 3 through 5 or maybe 2 if possible. The guy can guard the post, guard the perimeter. I love his length. So for me, that would be the position to replace Jeremy Grant. But with that being said, you need a guy who can help out the scoring output. You have Cade, you have Sadiq, and you really don't have any other really people on this team besides Hamidou Diallo. You have Josh Jackson. Who knows how long those guys will be here.
Dude, I hope there's something there with this team. I do. But you know what else I hope, Jeff?
Okay.
I hope to God DJ play busy. He just get his act together. Jim Caldwell didn't have 4 winning seasons. You jackass. You idiot. You buffoon. 11-5, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7. 3 winning seasons. Yes. Not 4. Stop it. Just stop. You're going to lose this argument. Just stop it. Adham hates black coaches, just like the NFL. I know, Demetrius. I know. I'm the typical white guy, right? I know, buddy. It's okay. It's all good. You can say what you want. Adham, your definition of success is Stafford. No, it's not. No, it's not, Daniel. No, it's not. But you know what's funny? Is we're going to discredit Stafford's success 1 year out of Detroit. And this pathetic franchise, under Caldwell, Patricia, doesn't matter who it is, has only won 1 playoff game in its entirety. That's the point when it comes to Stafford. I know Stafford was traded there to help deliver a Super Bowl. Fully aware of that. But your narrative, just like so many of you, was he can't win the big games. He can't win you a division. He's done both in 1 year outside of Detroit. Detroit was the problem. That's always been the argument. Always been the argument. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. We got to go to break. Jeff, could you tell us, please?
Yeah.
Could you tell us, please, about Cintron?
Well, all this talking makes my throat clenched. And when it does, I know exactly who to call, and that's Cintron World. And because it's an inspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and a great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. Buy online at cintronworld.com with this promo code, RedWings10. Save 10% with shipping included. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. It's time to get all your questions in. Ask away. Pistons, Lions, Stafford, Bucks. Don't care. Ask away. Do I like black coaches? I'm sure that's going to be a relevant question today. Maybe we do that.
Just because you critique Jim
Maybe
Caldwell.
we do that today. Not that I wasn't. I'm not even going to justify that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Honestly.
Not that you weren't high on Brian Flores, but anyway.
So, I do want to address something real quick. I got something wrong the other day. You weren't here, but I basically did almost a 15-minute rant on the definition of success, and what I was going.
I watched it.
Is the Tigers have given you a World Series title before. And I said 85 was actually in 84, so shame on me. But they also gave you multiple World Series runs, 06, and then I believe, 2011, 12? One of those years. Excuse me, I may be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been to multiple ALCS games. And they've played in some big moments. So they've given you that feeling of, we're almost there. The Red Wings have done it. The Pistons have done it.
Yep.
But the Lions never have. They never have outside of 91 1 year. I can go look at all the other franchises, Jeff. They've done it multiple times. And I think that's kind of where we get lost a little bit with the Lions. You guys just want a playoff win. Start with the division title. You'll get my respect. Mm-hmm. Win your division. That is step one. Win a playoff game. That is step two. Host a playoff game. That would be nice. Treat the fans who support you all these damn years. Let them buy playoff game tickets. Let them show up to Ford Field. Let them enjoy their time. That would be nice. So that definition of success, I think, is super interesting. But let's start with some questions. Oh, man. Jeff, you have anything? I haven't seen anything yet. What position should the Lions go for with their first pick? Tammy, honestly, it's got to be a defensive player.
Yeah.
And I think it's either going to be secondary or edge rusher. I don't think it's anything else. I don't see them reaching for Neal. I don't see them drafting Pickett.
No.
What's the actual play? And I just think it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see it being a corner, although, maybe a secondary player, Kyle Hamilton, but it's going to have to be an edge rusher or probably Kyle Hamilton. That's my choice, those three. Let's see. I know people I saw a comment. I know people are trashing right now, but someone said that Russell Westbrook and Cade Cunningham, they're comparing them as players.
How?
He said, I watched Russell Westbrook fill the stat sheet and not do anything, whatever. And apparently this guy doesn't watch Pistons games because he said, I see Cade do this similar stuff. He's averaging like 3.5 turnovers. And I just think it's funny when people try and make those comparisons like they're actually real.
Look, I mean, Russell Westbrook is in year 14, guys. Can we not do this? Come on.
Come on.
Year 13, 14, whatever he is. Cade's a rookie.
Yeah.
Look, as much as I may not like Cade putting up 8, 4, and 1 on a given night, I don't. Number 1 overall pick.
Right.
Chill out. The team's awful. They're 10 and 33 for a reason. It's not because they're number 1 overall pick. All right?
And he ain't Russell Westbrook.
Jesus Christ. Adam, if the Lions traded for Derek Carr, would they be playoff contenders next year? Yes, they would.
You said the question is if the Lions?
If the Lions traded for Derek Carr, would they be in the playoffs next year? Yes, they would. They would at least be contenders. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Look at their schedule.
Yeah. No,
you tell me
right.
Derek Carr can't win 9-10 games next year?
Can beat the NFC East. I think
easily.
Yeah.
He'll win 3 out of those 4 games.
Yeah, definitely.
And he'll go 3-3 in the division minimum.
Yeah.
2 losses to Green Bay likely, and he'll go 3-1 against Chicago and Minnesota.
Yeah, I can see that.
I totally. And he plays the AFC. We play the AFC East next year. Get the Jets. Get the Patriots. The Patriots are no god team. You get the Bills. That's probably a loss. And you get, of course, I'm missing one team in the AFC East, Dolphins.
Yeah.
And they just got rid of their coach. Good luck with that,
They
Miami.
got Tua, so.
Yeah, give me my money on. Give me my money. Yeah, give me my money on Derek Carr getting the Lions to the playoffs next year.
I like this question.
I don't think that trade works cap-wise.
I like this question because it's relevant for today. How far can the Rams go with Stafford in the playoffs? Upset for Tampa.
They can go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have the
went
talent.
with Jared Goff only throwing 1 touchdown during their run.
Yep.
Granted, the NFC is loaded this year. The Buccaneers are amazing. The Packers are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams are going to have to win some difficult games, and likely they're going to have to go through Tampa Bay and Green Bay, which is extremely difficult on the road to get to a Super Bowl. Talk about level of difficulty. It's probably the highest I've seen in recent years in the NFC.
Definitely. I like the real methods question. Do you think Harbaugh will go to the Raiders or stay at Michigan?
I think he stays. I really do. It's hard for me to imagine he's going to leave home. His kids are happy. Everybody is happy. He lives next to his dad. He's the man. He controls everything. To go to the Raiders in a state and really a city that you got to raise your kids in Vegas? No.
Yeah.
So you're going to go live there by yourself, be away from your family, make weekend trips every so often, bye week, go make a trip for a day or two, see them, and then come back home, overnight flight. Like, it's going to be tough.
And let me ask you this real quick, just get your opinion on that. With Jim Harbaugh, I heard Kirby Smart talk about this problem with assistant coaches, and I don't know if it's affecting head coaches as well. Like with the NIL, do you feel like Jim Harbaugh, to a certain extent, feels like recruiting is going to be, it's already nonstop. You have to constantly be recruiting. Now with the NIL, I think recruiting is even, I feel like, more difficult in a way.
It is.
And now if you go to the
NFL,
you have the offseason, you get focus on, you got your GM, you work with your GM. Like, you think there's less stress in the NFL. Like Kirby talked about, coaches quit. They quit football because of all the stress with recruiting. You think that weighs on Jim Harbaugh? Like, did I reach my peak here? Did I hit my peak already? Or you think it's more like, I like being the man. I like Michigan.
It's tough to say, honestly.
See, like,
he
it's
would
tough.
know that. He would know that personally. College football's a grind, but so is the NFL. That's
true.
Normal. But he's already proven it in the NFL. What's he going to go do? He went to 3 NFC title games in 4 years. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
like, Harbaugh's got nothing to prove. I think he stays at Michigan. Adam, what percentage of the blame should Stafford take for not winning in Detroit? I would say on a percentage scale.
Yeah, it takes percentage.
Give me about 5 to 10% Stafford is responsible for. I think that's fair. The last 2 playoff performances were pathetic. But, you want to point to the 11-4 matchup against Green Bay in Lambeau? Who wins in Lambeau in the last game of the season? And also, how'd the defense do that game? Oh, not so great. Like, I just... He is not absolved from all or any of the blame. Of course he's part to blame. The interceptions, the fumbles, etc. He had his moments where you just wanted to, you just wanted to.
You did.
But you have to accept the 90% is on the horrible ownership, god-awful front offices he dealt with, and the D+, well, actually F now because of Patricia, the F to C+ coaches he's had. That's the truth. Can he win? Of course he can win a Super Bowl. Why couldn't he? If Goff got to a Super Bowl, with Sean McVay? Why
Right.
couldn't Matthew Stafford? I mean, that's kind of a dumb question.
Yeah.
Not that the question's dumb, but like you kind of know the answer. They upgraded at quarterback. They have a good roster. They should be able to make a push for the Super Bowl. They should be able to compete against Tampa Bay, compete against the Packers. We'll have to wait and see. We got to go. Thank you guys so much. What a show. Flew by. No Maddy today. Sorry about that. She'll be back in tomorrow. Hope she's feeling better. My goodness. We got to go. Take care, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Enjoy your Wednesdays. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. I got some interviews lined up tomorrow for you. We got Pistons talk on to talk about some Pistons.
Ooh.
Jeremy Reisman. We're going to book him from Pride of Detroit. We're going to talk about Matthew Stafford, the whole conundrum. What's the issue? We'll see his side of it. They ran multiple polls on their Twitter accounts.
It's good stuff.
There was some good stuff. So we'll get Jeremy Reisman in tomorrow. And I'm working on it. I may get an NFL player who you're very familiar with to kind of walk me through what's going on in Detroit and in LA. Not going to share you who. You'll maybe find out tomorrow or Friday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.